A couple videos here. Let me get this thing going for you.
I can give you a call when we get closer. Because we're still on the inside the state. All right.
3.5 miles away. NASA considered several methods for moving it. A rail line, a canal and barge, and 2 crawler transporters. Assembly began in 1965 here at KSC. The crawlers had gone through several modifications throughout the years. When they were built, the KSC crawlers were the largest tracked vehicles ever made. Weighing 6 million pounds, 131 feet wide, and 114 feet long. It's comprised of 4 trucks and 8 tracks. Each of those tracks have 57 cleats, each weighing a ton. The crawler is capable of carrying 9 million pounds of mobile launch platform, plus another 3 million pounds of assembled space vehicle. They move the mobile launcher platform into the vehicle assembly building, and then to the launch pad with an assembled space vehicle. Maximum speed is 1 mile, 1.6 kilometers per hour, loaded. About 2 miles, 3.2 kilometers per hour, unloaded. Launch pad to VAB trip time with the mobile launch platform is about 5 hours. When operated, it takes about 18 to 20 technicians and 7 engineers to move it along the crawler way. So many trips, the crawler has racked up more than 3,400 miles. The crawler transporters are powered by 16 traction motors, powered by 4 1,000 kilowatt generators, driven by 2 2,750 horsepower diesel engines. 2 750 kilowatt generators, driven by 2 1,065 horsepower diesel engines, are used for jacking, steering, lighting, and ventilating, and it's an average gas mileage of 32 feet per gallon. In the future, the crawler transporters will be used for the eventual NASA Space Launch Systems SLS heavy lift vehicles, as well as various commercial launch systems.
Now, the reason that our crawlers are inside the vehicle assembly building, if you notice at the end of that video, they mentioned our new space program called SLS. Now, this is a heavy lift rocket, very similar to the Saturn V you're going to see shortly. Ahead of the bus here, this is one of the 3 original mobile launch platforms from the days of Apollo. They were reconfigured and modified for the shuttle program. One of the things they did, they put those big ears up on top. Now, they're called tombstones. And this is where they placed the wings of the orbiter when it was in a vertical position. And that's not only for stability for the trip out to the launch pad, but while it sits at the launch pad for over a month. It's always out there for quite a while. They always did the fueling. They also did the fueling through there. Liquid hydrogen on one side, liquid oxygen on the other. That's about 9 million pounds of steel, all jacked up there ready for the crawler. 2 famous Apollos launched off of there. Apollo 11, first to land on the moon, and Apollo 13. Now look underneath, if you will. You'll see 3 square cutouts. The large one in the front is for the 3 rocket engines of the shuttle, and the 2 in the back are for the solid rocket boosters. That's where the steam and the gases would escape. And it is steam. A lot of people think it's smoke coming off of a launch, and it's not. 22 seconds before a launch, they dump about 400,000 gallons of water on that platform, and that is for sound suppression. It's nothing to do with cooling anything. Now, ahead of the bus is something we recently completed building. This is called a mobile launcher or mobile umbilical tower. Now, it was built for the Constellation program and the Ares rocket, and that's been canceled by our government. And believe it or not, that's something I agree with. First thing I ever agreed with the government about, I think. Now, the Ares rocket is basically a low Earth orbit vehicle like the shuttle, and we want to go to deep space. So this is going to be modified for that new SLS rocket. And that's one nice thing about this launch pad, is its versatility. It can have a slight modification, and you can accommodate any type of rocket. Wow. And what's neat about this pad, with all of our new alloys and new technology, we lost 3 million pounds off its construction, and it's considered to be twice as strong. Now we're heading around to high bays 1 and 3. Now, these were totally dedicated to the shuttle program for 30 years. Before that, dedicated to the Apollo program, and now it's being modified and it's going to be dedicated to the SLS program. And the reason is simple. All 4 of those bays are identical, but this one's closer. You open the doors, you drive it out. That's it. Nothing technical about it. Now attached to the VAB, those blacked out windows, that's the Launch Control Center. Inside that building are 4 firing rooms. They only use 1 for each launch. The shuttle firing room is all the way to the left. Our brand new state-of-the-art fiber optic firing room for the SLS is all the way to the right. Now you might notice all these rocks on the right side of the bus. This is our crawler roadway. Quite a unique piece of engineering. Probably saw that in the video. It's as wide as an 8-lane highway. Put it in perspective, this is as wide as the New Jersey Turnpike, only less congested. Now ahead of the bus, off to the right there, all those buildings, this is our press site. Now very few of those buildings are used anymore. Of course they bring their mobile satellite trucks in, they set up their dishes and they broadcast around the world, and they take it down and they leave. But I always like to point out this little set of bleachers over here on the left. Closest any human will be to the launches, except for the astronaut, and it's set there for a great reason. That's for your Make-A-Wish children and their families from around the world. What a great idea. Now, I would like to draw your attention to the right, to the vehicle assembly building. The size of this building is quite deceiving, and I'd like to put it into perspective while I'm driving past it. I'm going to start with the American flag, largest American flag ever painted. If you guys go on Wikipedia, it'll tell you that it took 6,000 gallons of paint to put that on the side. I'm going to tell you that you can park every one of our 52 tour buses inside those stripes, and you'll still have 2 stripes left over. Inside the building, you can fit all but 4 Empire State Buildings in different configurations. And while you're at it, you can fit the entire old Yankee Stadium and the parking lot up on the roof.
Wow.
So you can think about that for a little bit.
9, ignition sequence start.
A rich
Lay
history.
down.
Ready to go to combat. Stand by order. Okay, you're on.
All systems go. T-minus 45 seconds and counting. The first stage liquid oxygen tank has been pressurized, and the pressure is still building up. Coming up in 90 seconds, mark T-minus 90 seconds and counting. The Apollo 8 crew standing by, spacecraft commander Frank Warren, Chimney Bill Anders. We now report that the liquid hydrogen tank in the third stage is pressurized, 1 minute 15 seconds. All three stage propellants pressurized at this time as we come up on the 60-second mark on the closing window. 60 seconds and counting. The vehicle now is completely pressurized. Power transfer shortly. We have the power transfer. We're now on the flight batteries within the launch vehicle. Final reports coming from Frank Borman at this time. Final look at the switches aboard this spacecraft. 20 seconds on this next year. Still roll at this time. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10,
this spacecraft, Apollo 8, we were the first men to see the surface of the moon from just a few miles away. But it was the hundreds of thousands of men and women who worked in that team and the millions of people who supported the mission that really made it possible. That way, I guess, we all went to the moon. Now, on the other side of those doors, you'll find an actual Saturn V moon rocket. It's still the most powerful, the most complex machine ever built. And I guess it's the only one that can take you to another planet. I actually got to fly one on a second flight to the moon called Apollo 13. But that's another story.